My name is Amina. I am 16 years old. I live with my mother in a small rented house on River Street. My mother's name is Farah. My father died when I was 5. I do not remember his voice or his laugh. We have one old photo of him in a small box. My mother says he was a kind man and loved us very much. Now, it is only my mother and me. We do not have much money, but we try to stay happy. My mother works very hard every day. She cleans houses for rich people. She washes their clothes and sweeps their floors. She comes home late and very tired, but she still smiles at me. I go to school each day. I like my teachers, and I like to read. When I come home, my mother hugs me. In that moment, I feel safe. Our house is very small and old. We have one room, a tiny kitchen, and a small bathroom. The walls are cracked and the paint is dry and broken. When it rains, the roof leaks and water falls in drops. We have only one bed, so we sleep close to each other. At night we hear cars on the street and dogs outside. We eat simple food. Many days it is only rice and beans. Some nights there is not enough food. On those nights we drink water and go to sleep. Still, my mother says, as long as we are together, we can live. But one problem is very big in our life. Our landlord, his name is Mr. Reed. He is a tall man with angry eyes. His voice is loud and hard. Every week he comes to ask for rent. If we are one day late, he shouts and hits the door. My stomach feels tight when I hear his steps on the stairs. I do not like how he looks at my mother. His eyes make me feel afraid. My mother tells me, when he comes, stay quiet. Do not open the door, Amina. Let him shout. He will go away. But in my heart, I know he will not change. One evening I said to my mother that we should leave this place. We can move far away, I said. We can find a better house. She gave me a sad smile. Where will we go, my child? She asked. We do not have money for another house. Who will give us a room without rent? I did not have an answer. I wanted to help her, but I was only a girl in school. So we stayed, day after day, week after week, waiting for rent day and hoping nothing bad would happen. Then one Tuesday, everything changed. That morning was like any other day. I woke up early. My mother made tea. We shared a small piece of bread. Then I walked to school with my old bag. My shoes were worn, but they still worked. At school, I tried to listen in class. I talked a little with my friend Nita. We laughed about a small joke. It felt like a normal day. When school ended, I walked home as usual. But when I came near the house, I heard a loud voice inside. It was Mr. Reed. "Give me my money," he shouted. I stopped at the door. My heart started to beat very fast. I heard my mother say, "Please wait. I do not have it now." Her voice was small and tired. Then I heard a crash, like a cup or chair falling. My hands began to shake. I tried to open the front door, but it was locked from inside. I pushed it, but it did not move. I hit the door with my hands. "Open the door," I shouted. "Mother, are you okay?" But there was no answer. I heard my mother cry out, "Stop it! Do not touch me!" My chest felt tight. My eyes filled with tears. I did not know what to do. Then I remembered the small window at the back of the house. It was old and did not close well. I ran around the side of the house. There was a broken wooden stool under the window. I climbed on it and pushed the window up. It opened a little. I pushed harder and made a small space. I took a deep breath and pulled myself inside. I fell on my knees on the floor. They hurt, but I did not care. I looked up and froze. Mr. Reed was holding my mother's arm very hard. Her face looked scared and angry at the same time. Her dress was torn at the shoulder. He was laughing in a bad way. My mother tried to pull her arm away, but he did not let go. Something hot moved inside me, like fire. "Leave her!" I shouted. "Let go of my mother." Mr. Reed turned his head and looked at me. His eyes were dark and cold. "Go away, girl," he said. "This is not your problem." His voice was full of anger. I saw a wooden stick on the floor near the table. My hands were still shaking, but I picked it up. I ran toward him and hit him once on the back with the stick. He shouted in pain and turned to me. He slapped me hard on my face. I fell to the floor. My cheek burned and my ear rang. "Stay out of this," he shouted. My eyes were full of tears, but I pushed myself up again. I could not just watch. I felt in the pocket of my school skirt. There was a small craft tool inside. I used it for school projects. It was a little metal tool, not very sharp. I did not want to really hurt him. I only wanted him to stop and leave my mother. I held it tight in my hand. I ran at him again and shouted, "Get away from her!" My mother cried, "No, Amina, stop." But I did not stop. My heart was too loud in my ears. Everything happened very fast. I lifted my hand. Mr. Reed tried to step back. His foot hit the broken stool on the floor. He lost his balance and fell down hard. He made a loud sound when he hit the ground. My hand shook. I dropped the small tool. My mother ran to me and held my shoulders. "What have you done?" she said. Her voice was full of fear. "I did not mean to hurt him," I cried. "I only wanted to help you." Tears ran down my face. Mr. Reed lay on the floor. He was breathing, but it looked hard for him. His face was white. He tried to move, but he could not. My mother looked at him, then at me. Her hands shook, but she took her old phone from the shelf. She called for an ambulance. "Please come fast," she said. "A man is hurt." I sat on the floor and hugged my knees. I felt very cold. My cheek still hurt from the slap. My mother came and sat beside me. She held me close and whispered, "It is okay, my child. I am here." But I could hear the fear in her voice. We did not know what would happen next. Soon we heard a loud siren outside. 2 men came in with a stretcher. They checked Mr. Reed and then lifted him onto it. He was awake but weak. People from the street stood at the door. They looked in and whispered to each other. I wanted to hide. I felt like I could not breathe. After a short time, 2 police officers came. They looked around the room. They saw the broken cup, the torn dress of my mother, and my red cheek. One officer asked, "Who was here when this happened?" My mother held my hand and said, "My daughter tried to protect me. It was an accident." The officers looked at each other. One of them said, "We must go to the station and talk." My legs felt heavy when I stood up. I thought, maybe they will take me away from my mother. Maybe I will go to jail. I did not want to leave her. I did not want to leave our small house, even with all its problems. At the police station, they gave us a small room for the night. There was 1 bed and 1 chair. The light was bright and cold. My mother sat on the bed and pulled me close. We both cried quietly. I was tired, scared, and sorry. I did not know if Mr. Reed would live. I did not know what the judge would say. I only knew one thing. Our simple life on River Street was over, and tomorrow might change everything again. Before I continue rest of the story, please like, subscribe, share, and tell me where you are listening from. Your support means a lot to me. Now let's continue. The next morning, a woman came to speak with us at the station. She wore simple clothes and carried a black bag. She said her name was Sana, and she was a lawyer. Her voice was soft and calm. "Do not worry," she said to my mother. "Mr. Reed is in the hospital. He is hurt, but he will be okay." I felt a little better when I heard that. I did not want him to die. I only wanted him to stop. Sana sat on the chair and looked at me. "You were trying to help your mother," she said. "I can see that, but we must still go to court. The judge will decide what to do." My mother held my hand. I could feel her fear, but she tried to smile at me. Later that day, 2 officers took us to the court building. It was tall and clean, very different from our small house. My hands were cold. My heart felt heavy. We sat on a wooden bench and waited. Other people were there too. Some looked angry, some looked sad. I did not look at anyone. I kept my eyes on the floor. When it was our turn, we walked into a small room. The judge sat at a big table. He was an older man with kind eyes. He looked at me for a long moment. Sana spoke for us. She told him everything. She explained that my mother was afraid. She explained that I tried to protect her. She said I did not mean to harm Mr. Reed. Then the judge asked me to speak. My voice shook, but I told him what happened. I said I was scared. I said I only wanted to help my mother. I said I did not want to hurt anyone. Tears filled my eyes again. The judge listened carefully. Then he spoke in a gentle voice. "You are a brave girl, Amina. But you must remember something. You cannot solve problems with force. You must ask for help." I nodded. I understood. I did not feel brave. I only felt tired. After a short time, the judge said we were free to go, but we could not return to our old house. He said it was not safe for us to live there. My mother agreed quickly. "We do not want to live there anymore," she said. Her voice was firm for the first time in many days. When we walked out of the court, I felt light and heavy at the same time. We had no home now, no bed, no food, only a small bag of clothes. My mother looked around with worried eyes. "We will find a place," she said. "Trust me." I wanted to trust her. I tried to smile back. For 2 days, we stayed at my friend Nita's house. Her mother was kind and gave us food and warm blankets. I slept on a mattress on the floor. My mother slept on a small sofa. It was still better than the cold room at the police station. But we could not stay there forever. I could see it in Nita's mother's eyes. She did not say it, but I felt it. My mother searched for work. She walked from shop to shop. She asked in cafes and small stores. Many said no. One man said maybe. At last, she found a job in a small factory. It did not pay much, but it was enough for food. When she told me, she smiled again. A real smile. Not a tired one. One evening, when the sky was turning dark, someone knocked on Nita's door. I thought it might be her uncle or a neighbor, but a woman stood there with a small folder in her hand. She asked for my mother. Her voice was warm. "I am from a charity group," she said. "I read your story in the newspaper. Many people want to help you." My mother looked surprised. "Help us? Why?" The woman opened the folder and took out a letter. It said that we would get a small house for 1 year, rent-free. My mother covered her mouth with her hand. Tears fell from her eyes. She whispered, "Thank you. Thank you." I felt my chest grow warm. For the first time in many days, I felt hope. The next morning, we went to see the house. It was small, but not broken like the old one. The walls were clean. The windows could open and close. There were 2 tiny rooms and a kitchen. The bathroom had no leak. The house felt safe. My mother walked inside slowly, touching the walls with her hand. She looked like she was afraid the house would disappear. We put our few clothes in one corner. We sat on the floor and shared a cup of tea. My mother held my hand and said, "Maybe this is our new start." I nodded. I felt something in my heart. Not fear, not pain. Something soft and quiet. Something like peace. But even in that safe room, I could not forget the sound of Mr. Reed's shout. I could not forget the slap on my face. I could not forget my mother's torn dress. I hoped the new house would help us heal. I hoped nothing from the past would find us here. But deep inside, I felt that our story was not finished yet. Not at all. Life in the new house was simple, but it felt safe. The rooms were small, yet they were clean. The windows could open, and the roof did not leak. My mother and I cleaned everything on the first day. We washed the floor and wiped the shelves. Sunlight came through the window and made the room warm. For the first time in many months, I felt my fear slowly fade. My mother came home tired from the factory, but she looked calm. She said the work was easy and the people were kind. I cooked rice or noodles in the small kitchen. We sat on the floor and ate slowly. We did not have a table yet, but we did not mind. We talked about school and work. We smiled more now. But some nights I woke up suddenly. I heard Mr. Reed's voice in my mind. I felt again the slap on my cheek. I saw the moment he fell. My heart jumped fast, and I could not sleep. My mother heard me move and came to lie beside me. She held my hand and said, "You are safe now, Amina. No one will hurt you here." I nodded, but the old fear stayed inside me like a small shadow. One morning, a letter came from the court. My mother opened it with shaking hands. She read it again and again, then let out a long breath. She told me that Mr. Reed was better now. He did not want to bring a case against us. He wanted to forget everything and move on. When she said this, I felt a great weight lift off my chest. My hands stopped shaking. My mother sat down and closed her eyes. We both felt free. Days passed, and life became normal again. I went back to school. My teachers smiled at me. Some students looked at me with curious eyes because they had heard the story. Nita ran to me at lunch and hugged me. She asked if we were okay. I told her yes, and she said she would come visit soon. The road to our new house was long, but peaceful. Children played outside their homes. Women washed clothes in buckets. Men sat on steps and talked. I felt safe walking there. When I reached our small door, I stopped and looked at the house again. It was simple, but it felt like a new start. A week later, the charity woman, Ruma, came to visit us. She brought a small notebook. She asked my mother if the new job was fine. She asked if the house was comfortable. My mother said yes. Then Ruma told us that many people wanted to send food and clothes. At first, my mother tried to refuse, but Ruma said, "Please accept it. People want to help you." My mother's eyes filled with tears again. Ruma turned to me and asked how school was. I told her it was going well. She said I was strong and brave. I looked at the floor because I did not feel brave. I felt scared when I remembered that day. But Ruma said, "Fear and courage can live together." Her words stayed in my heart. One afternoon, when my mother was at work, I sat outside with my school books. A small boy from next door came to me with a torn book. He asked if I could help him read. I smiled and said yes. We sat on the steps and read slowly together. He smiled every time he understood a word. His smile warmed my heart. When his mother came to take him home, she thanked me. I felt proud. In the next weeks, my mother saved a little money. She bought 2 small chairs and a second-hand table. We placed them in the kitchen. The house felt more like home now. I took the old photo of my father and put it on the table. I looked at his face and whispered, "We are okay now." But I saw that my mother had changed. She checked the door lock many times at night. When someone knocked, she waited before opening it. She did not trust easily now. One evening I asked if she was still afraid. She said yes, a little. But she also said we must learn to live again and be strong. I held her hand and tried to show her she was not alone. My mother made friends at the factory. Some women shared lunch with her. They told her about a sewing class at a small community center. She joined the class and learned to use a sewing machine. She made simple bags. One woman bought one. My mother smiled when she told me. She said maybe she could sell more. She kept practicing at night. She sewed small shapes and careful lines. I watched her and felt proud. She was tired, but she was trying to build a better life for us. One Sunday, Ruma came again with good news. She said a group wanted to support my mother's sewing. They wanted to give her a sewing machine of her own. My mother covered her mouth with her hand and cried. She said, "This will change everything." And it did. With her own machine, my mother started making bags and aprons every evening. She carried them in a basket to the factory. Many workers bought them. Some bought them because they liked them. Others bought them because they wanted to help. Every week my mother earned a little more money. Not much, but enough to give us hope. I also changed. My teacher asked me to help younger students read simple stories. I sat with small groups after school. I read with them slowly and helped them sound out words. They smiled at me and I felt proud. I liked helping them. It made me feel strong inside. One evening, when my mother and I sat at our new table eating rice, she looked at me with soft eyes. She said, "Amina, you have grown so much. You lived through fear and still learned to care for others." I felt shy but happy. I told her I was proud of her too. She laughed and wiped her eyes. I looked around our small home, the table, the chairs, the clean walls, the sewing machine, my books on the floor, my mother's gentle face. I felt warm inside. We had lived through a dark day, but we were still here. We had lost one home but found another. Life would still be hard, but we had hope now, and we had each other. I held my mother's hand and said, "We will be okay." She smiled and said, "Yes, my child, we will." Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and subscribe to English Medium Stories. Stay with us for more classic stories in easy English.